What if the only thing standing between you and your dreams is a single question, a question so powerful, so piercing, that it could shatter the chains of doubt you've been carrying for years? Imagine sitting quietly in your room, scrolling through your phone, watching others succeed, athletes winning championships, entrepreneurs building empires, artists getting recognized worldwide, and that tiny voice whispers inside your head, "That's not for me. I'm not that lucky. I don't have the talent." But what if instead of saying "why me" in frustration, you ask "why not me"? Think about it. Why not you who becomes financially free? Why not you who builds the body you always dreamed of? Why not you who starts the business everyone doubts? Why not you who proves the world wrong? This single refrain can transform your entire destiny. Because the truth is, life doesn't choose special people. Life chooses the ones who decide. And today, I want you to decide with me. As you listen to my voice, promise yourself you won't just watch this video like any other, but you'll open your heart, your mind, and maybe, just maybe, you'll dare to say "why not me?" Pause for a moment. Think about the opportunities you've already let slip away. That exam you could be prepared for, but didn't. That promotion you were too afraid to apply for. That idea you wanted to share, but kept silent. Each of those moments wasn't about your ability, it was about your belief. And when belief is weak, opportunities vanish. Now here's the secret: the world is filled with people no smarter, no more talented, no more capable than you. The only difference, at some point in their journey, they looked in the mirror and asked, "Why not me?" Before we move forward, I want you to picture something. Imagine 10 years from now, same job, same struggles, same frustrations. You look back and realize nothing has changed because you never dared to ask this one question. Feels uncomfortable, right? But stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal how ordinary people just like you flipped their destiny by embracing this mindset. Don't skip this, because the moment you hear their stories, you'll realize you've been capable all along. Let us begin with the trap of limiting beliefs. Society has trained us to shrink. From childhood, we're told, "That's not for people like us. Stay in your lane. Don't dream too big." You've probably heard phrases like, "Be realistic," "Settle down," or "Stop wasting your time." These are invisible chains that keep millions of people locked in mediocrity. And the worst part, we don't even notice when we start believing them. Take the story of Sarah, a young woman who always wanted to be a writer. She loved books, had notebooks filled with ideas, but every time she thought of publishing her work, her inner critic screamed, "Who would read your stuff? You're not talented enough. There are better writers out there." For years, she kept her words hidden, until one day, she stumbled upon this very question: "Why not me?" She repeated it every morning. Why not me who becomes a published author? Why not me who inspires others? Slowly, she started sending her work out. Rejection after rejection came, but instead of shrinking, she reminded herself, "If others can, why not me?" Today, her book is on shelves worldwide. What changed? Not her talent, not her luck, but her belief. And before you think, "Well, that worked for her but it won't work for me," let me stop you. Because in just a moment, I'll share with you not only Sarah's story, but the scientific reason why this mindset works, why your brain is wired to believe whatever you consistently feed it. So keep listening, because the proof will make you rethink everything you've ever believed about yourself. Now, let us look at how this question rewires your mind. Neuroscience shows us that our thoughts create patterns, neural pathways that dictate how we act. If you keep saying, "I can't," "I don't deserve," "It's not for me," your brain strengthens those pathways. But when you ask, "Why not me?" you disrupt the pattern. It forces your brain to look for evidence, to consider possibilities instead of shutting them down. Think about it: every innovation, every breakthrough, every success story began with someone refusing to accept the limits handed to them. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty and abuse, told she would never succeed in media. But she asked, "Why not me?" Elon Musk was laughed at for his insane ideas about electric cars and rockets. But he asked, "Why not me?" These are not superheroes. They are human beings who dared to challenge their own excuses. And here's where it gets personal. Right now, you may be thinking of your dream, that thing you secretly wish for but never admit out loud. What if you gave yourself permission, just for the next 20 minutes, to believe that it's possible? What if you replaced "why me" with "why not me"? Don't wander away now. Because in the next part, I'm going to give you a simple exercise that you can do tonight, something so small, yet so powerful, that it can begin reshaping your destiny. If you leave before hearing it, you'll miss the one action step that could ignite your transformation. Now, let us do that exercise I promised. Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to grab a notebook and write down just one dream you've been hiding from yourself. Maybe it's starting a YouTube channel, maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's finally losing the weight you've carried for years, or starting that business you keep postponing. Write it down, and right beneath it, ask yourself out loud, why not me? Don't just write it, feel it, because the moment you do, your brain starts searching for reasons why it actually can be you. That's the magic of this mindset. Instead of focusing on what's missing, your mind begins scanning for solutions, resources, and opportunities you never noticed before. But here's the catch: your inner critic will fight back. It will scream, you don't have the money, you don't have the time, you don't have the connections. That voice is powerful, but every time it speaks, answer it with this one question: if someone else can, why not me? And here's what's fascinating: psychology tells us that repetition rewires belief. The same way negative self-talk keeps you stuck, positive reframing breaks those chains. It's not instant, it's like planting a seed. You water it daily with why not me, and eventually, it grows roots so deep that no storm can shake it. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is just theory, let me take you into the real world. Because in just a moment, I'm going to share the story of a man who had every reason to quit. No money, no support, constant rejection, but the day he asked, why not me, was the day everything changed. Don't miss this, because his journey will prove that this is not hype, this is real. Take David, for example. He grew up in a small town, working 2 jobs just to survive. Everyone around him said, stay safe, don't take risks, just be grateful for what you have. But David had a vision. He wanted to start his own fitness business. For years, he hesitated, scared of failing, until one night he stumbled upon those words, why not me? Something inside clicked. He didn't have a fancy plan, he didn't have investors, but he had belief. He started with free YouTube workouts recorded on his phone. Slowly, people began to watch. Then a few clients came. Then, within 3 years, David was running a full-time fitness company, employing others, and living the life he once thought impossible. What changed? Not his background, not his circumstances, just the question he asked himself. And you might be thinking, well, maybe he just got lucky. But what if luck isn't random? What if luck simply follows belief? Because in a few minutes, I'll reveal the scientific studies that show how belief and action literally create opportunities where none seem to exist. Stay with me, this is where mindset meets science. Let's talk about the science of self-belief. You see, your brain is not a fixed machine. It's constantly rewiring itself based on the thoughts you feed it. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. Every time you say, I can't, you're carving a pathway in your brain that makes it easier to give up the next time. But every time you say, why not me, you carve a new pathway, one that makes courage easier, one that makes persistence natural, one that makes possibility real. Think about when you first learned how to ride a bicycle. At first, it was shaky, awkward, maybe even scary. But the more you tried, the more your brain wired the ability to balance, to pedal, to steer. Now, you can hop on a bike without thinking. That's the same with belief. At first, it feels fake. At first, it feels heavy. But with practice, it becomes second nature. And here's something powerful: visualization. Top athletes around the world, from Michael Phelps to Serena Williams, use visualization before they step into competition. They don't just see themselves winning, they feel it, they rehearse it mentally until it becomes real. Why? Because the brain doesn't fully distinguish between imagined experience and actual experience. That means when you ask, why not me, and you visualize success, your brain starts preparing your body, your energy, and your actions to make it happen. Now, don't drift away, because in a few moments I'm going to show you how this exact technique was used by someone you know, a household name, someone who went from being dismissed as average to becoming one of the most successful people in the world. If you think belief is just positive thinking, wait until you hear their story. Let's look at Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, abused as a child, rejected countless times, and told she would never make it in television. If anyone had an excuse to say, why me, why do I suffer, why is life unfair, it was Oprah. But at some point, she flipped the script. She asked, Why not me who rises? Why not me who breaks the cycle? That question pushed her through rejection after rejection until she became one of the most influential women on the planet. Or consider J.K. Rowling. She was a single mother on welfare, scribbling her ideas in coffee shops. Publishers rejected her book 12 times. 12 times, she was told you're not good enough, but she kept whispering to herself, why not me who creates a story the world will love today? Her books have sold hundreds of millions of copies, and Harry Potter is a global phenomenon. What's the lesson? Success doesn't come to the most talented, the richest, or the luckiest. It comes to the ones who ask, why not me, and refuse to stop until the world answers back. And here's where it gets real for you. Right now, you might be thinking of your dream again, that secret ambition you've been too scared to say out loud. In the next section, I'm going to give you a step-by-step strategy to start living this question daily, a way to break free from excuses and move forward, even if you feel like you have nothing. So don't leave now, because the next few minutes might be the exact blueprint you've been waiting for. Now let's make this personal. I want you to think about one area of your life where you've been holding back. Maybe it's your health. You've been saying, I'll start working out next month. Maybe it's your career. You've been saying, I'll apply for that job when I'm ready. Or maybe it's your dreams, that business idea, that skill you want to learn, that project you want to launch. And every time, you've silenced yourself with the thought, that's not for me. But here's the reality: there are people out there with less intelligence, fewer resources, and bigger challenges than you, who are already doing what you dream of doing. The only difference, they asked, why not me, and they moved. So tonight, I want you to try something. When you lie down in bed, close your eyes and picture your life 1 year from now. Picture the version of yourself who asked the question, why not me, and acted on it. What do you see? Maybe you see yourself in a healthier body. Maybe you see yourself on a stage, speaking. Maybe you see yourself running a business, free from financial stress. Let that vision soak in, because your brain is already starting to believe it. Don't skip this next part, because I'm going to give you one practical, simple action you can take tonight, an exercise so small that you'll be tempted to ignore it. But the people who actually do this exercise, they end up changing their entire destiny. Stick with me here. Take out a notebook or even the Notes app on your phone. Write down 3 things you've always told yourself were impossible. Maybe it's I'll never be financially free. Maybe it's I'll never be confident in public. Maybe it's I'll never break out of this environment. Now, next to each one, write the question, why not me? Something powerful happens when you write it down. It turns from a fleeting thought into a command to your subconscious. Every time you read it, your brain starts scanning for reasons why it can happen. That's how belief works. It's like a muscle. You strengthen it every time you use it. Let me share with you a real-life story of Mark, a 45-year-old father of 2 who worked at a job he hated. For years, he believed he was too old to start something new. His dream was to run his own business, but he'd always say, that's not for people like me. I don't have the money. I don't have the skills. Then one day, after hearing this exact question, why not me, he decided to stop making excuses. He started small, learning online at night after work. Within 3 years, he quit his job and built a 6-figure company. Did Mark suddenly become smarter? No. Did money fall from the sky? No. He just asked a better question. And before you dismiss his story as luck or timing, hold on, because in just a moment, I'll reveal how this one mindset shift can turn your failures into fuel. If you've ever felt like your past is holding you back, this next part is exactly what you need. Don't go anywhere. Here's the truth: failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the foundation of success. Every time you fail, you learn something no one else can teach you. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. When you ask, why not me, you give yourself permission to fail forward, to use failure as training, not as a verdict. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When people asked him about his failures, he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset of why not me. Now let's bring this closer to your life. Every excuse, every limitation, every doubt, they're not walls, they're doors. And the key to opening those doors is the courage to ask this one question. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything comes together. You've been waiting for a sign, you've been waiting for the perfect time, but life doesn't give permission slips. No one is going to show up at your door and say, congratulations, today you're ready. Read history. Read biographies. The greatest leaders, inventors, athletes, and entrepreneurs all had one thing in common: they acted before they felt ready. Michael Jordan, he didn't make his high school basketball team. He could have said, "Why not me, because I'm not good enough," but instead, he turned that rejection into fuel. He practiced until the world had no choice but to remember his name. Oprah Winfrey, she was told she didn't belong on TV. She could have said, "Why not me, because they're right," but instead, she asked, "Why not me?" and built one of the most powerful media empires in history. Do you see the pattern? It's not talent, it's not money, it's not luck, it's the courage to ask the right question. And I want you to pause for just a second and realize the people you admire most, the ones whose stories you watch on YouTube, the ones whose books you read, the ones who inspire you. They're not superheroes, they're humans, just like you. They had doubts, they had fears, they had failures, but the moment they said, "Why not me?" their entire life shifted. So ask yourself right now, are you going to keep watching other people's stories, or are you ready to write your own? Let's get practical again, because inspiration without action dies quickly. Here's your challenge for tonight: choose one area of your life that you've been avoiding. Just one. Maybe it's your fitness, your career, your relationships, your finances. And take one tiny action that aligns with the question, "Why not me?" If it's fitness, do 10 push-ups tonight. If it's career, send out one job application tonight. If it's business, research one free online course tonight. Why? Because small actions build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence builds transformation. The moment you take even the tiniest step, your brain starts to believe, "Wait, maybe it really can be me." Stay with me, because I'm about to tell you something that most people never realize about life until it's too late. This is the difference between people who dream and people who do. Don't miss it. Here it is. Life is short, brutally short, and you don't get a second chance. Someday, whether you like it or not, you'll be lying on your deathbed looking back at your life, and the only question that will matter is this: did I ask why not me, or did I let fear, doubt, and excuses steal my chance? No one remembers the person who played it safe. No one writes books about the one who never tried. The world remembers the ones who stepped forward when everyone else stepped back. So tonight, when you hear that little voice of doubt whisper, "Who do you think you are?" I want you to answer with power: "I am the one who asks, why not me?" Because it can be you. It should be you. And if you decide, it will be you. This is your moment. This is your turning point. You've spent years watching, waiting, wishing, but now it's time to move. Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for next year. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Life is happening right now, and the opportunity you're searching for is already in front of you. It's hidden inside this question. So I leave you with just 3 words that have the power to change everything. Backhand index pointing right. Why not me?